Hello team, very good morning, good afternoon, good evening. To whom watching a different time period, I literally welcome you all to this another video session. So, in this session, we'll be having a discussion on the recently asked or mostly asked interview questions for a cybersecurity analyst, and that's the thing which we are going to discuss about in this concept in this video session. So I hope you will definitely get an understanding regarding the things, and probably you will be getting an scope and visibility of what actually the interview perspective the questions have been asked. Okay, so be cool, be calm whenever you are going to ask the interview. Okay, so from now onwards, I will be posting interview related questions for any cybersecurity analyst who are making their career in the field of this, and you will definitely crack the interview in a very first attempt. So, what is the first question which is basically been asked? Is all about CIA trade, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So, when we discuss about CIA trade, which basically stands for what I've said, confidentiality, integrity, and availability, because it is the functional model of information security. Okay, you have to understand the models like OSI model, okay, different layers. Okay, then after cyber chain. Okay, so these are the different functional for information security, which basically emphasizes in protection of data. We can even say confidentiality, which maintaining data integrity and ensuring data and system availability. Okay, emphasizing the protection of data confidentiality, maintaining the data integrity, and ensuring the data of the system availability. Okay, so here we are actually maintaining the data, securing the data, protecting the data. So that's how actually a CIA trade usually meant by. Okay, you must and should be precise with your answer whenever you are going to attempt any interview. Okay, so such that the interviewer can understand the concept, how much knowledge you are having, and how much you are going to express in the form of your understanding. Okay, so coming to the next topic, that is about symmetric and asymmetric encryption. So basically, symmetric and asymmetric encryption is just all about encrypting the key. Okay, which you basically use a single key for encryption, where symmetric is much more faster. So those all things comes under symmetric and asymmetric. When we go with an answer, symmetric encryption basically uses a single key for both encryption and decryption. Okay, so encryption and decryption is all about encrypting the data and decrypting the data in a visibility form. Okay, how much decryption they basically used. Okay, it basically uses symmetric uses a single key, while asymmetric uses a pair of public and private keys for encryption and decryption. Okay, so symmetric is faster but requires secure key exchange, while asymmetric basically provides secure communication without the need for a secure key exchange. Okay, so that's the main difference between asymmetric and asymmetric encryption. What is firewall and how it works? So basically, every interview, we basically have a question like, what is firewall and how it is been used, how actually it has been worked. So it is just about a wall, okay, which basically separates from enemy to the occurrence. So if I simply say, if I am staying in a war zone, okay, so here the guard, or we can say the barrier, which basically protects me from other external attacks. That's how actually a firewall acts like. Okay, so firewall is a network security device, okay, that monitors and control incoming and outgoing network traffics, okay, based on predetermined security rules. Okay, so it acts as a barrier between a secure internal network and untrusted external network, allowing or blocking traffic based on defined rule. Okay, so basically here the barrier, we can say, in a war zone there are different construction material, what the construction material is being used, which kind of formulation they have made, which kind of protection availability they have made, such that the incoming and outgoing traffic, or incoming and outgoing weaponization, or incoming and outgoing mm, rules may strict with and restrict with the rules and protocols. So that's how actually firewall acts like, based upon a predefined rule, how we set that, how we maintain that, how we regulate that. Okay, so that's how actually firewall works, and which basically monitors both incoming and outgoing traffics, okay, with a predefined security rules. Next is, what is vulnerability assessment? So when we discuss about vulnerability assessment, a vulnerability assessment is the process of defining, qualifying, and prioritizing the vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities of a system. That is how actually a vulnerability assessment is been maintained. So basically, it involves evaluating the security weaknesses in software and also hardware and network to determine potential risk and provides a basic of remediation. So that's how actually a vulnerability assessment is being basically worked with. So when we discuss about this, we have to answer our questions very precisely. For example, if I say what is the difference between a simple assessment which you are doing in classroom and what is vulnerability assessment, though those are same, but here we are qualifying, identifying, and maintaining and prioritizing the system weaknesses, hardware, and also protecting and remediating the network potential risk. That's how actually vulnerability assessment has been made by. Okay, so everyone has an assessment to test it, to identify where you are lacking with. So that's how actually vulnerability assessment has also been worked. Then after explain the concept of penetration testing. So penetration testing or ethical hacking basically involves stimulating a cyber attack on a system, network, and application to identify and exploit the vulnerabilities. Okay, the goal is to assess the security posture and discover the weaknesses before a malicious actor can exploit them. So that's how actually a red team basically uses, or a pen testing team usually stimulates an attack. Okay, what is the difference between virus and bomb? Very, very, very common question which you have to answer it very precisely, right? So virus is a malicious program that basically attaches itself to a legitimate program. Okay, so program, or we can say even file, and requires user interaction to spread. Wherever a worm is a standalone replicating program. Okay, so that basically spreads automatically over a network, often without user interaction, or you can say intervention. So what is two-factor authentication? So when we discuss about two-factor authentication, we have to understand the process of layer which basically provides securing or undergoing to another platform. For example, two-factor authentication is a security process in which user provides two different authentication factor to verify their identity. Okay, it is just all about your showing your Aadhaar card and entering to any of the organization. Okay, so in place of Aadhaar card, instead of Aadhaar card, we also have a PAN card or driving license. Also, we need to verify, right? So whenever we are going for any job application, that's how actually two-factor authentication basically been used. That this is legitimate or not. So these factor basically or typically include something that the user know, like a password, and something the user has, like a smartphone or security tokens. So explain the concept of least privileges. So it is very last question I can say. So least privilege is a security principle that advocates providing individual or systems with only the minimum level of access or permissions that needed to perform their job functionalities or functions. This helps to minimize the potential impact of a security breach. Okay, so in the upcoming videos I will be explaining all the things, and the 70 to 80 questions I'll be discussing with you, and I hope you will definitely enjoy the sessions.